guys, welcome to Classic Rock and Country Music Facts and Trivia. I gotta admit, this one kind of blew my mind a little bit. I've done a lot of reading up on Garth Brooks lately. I always liked his show. He's always put a lot of energy in his show, and I like a good rock and roll show, so he always put a rock in the country. But the more I read about him, man, today's anyway is going to be how he delayed the 1993 Super Bowl because they wouldn't play his music video before the game. Back in 1993, Garth Brooks threw a major wrench into everyone's plans. Garth had already become one of the biggest names in music at that time, with 3 #1 albums and 10 chart-topping songs in his young career. He was changing the landscape of live performances with his electric shows that were more like rock concerts than anything the world has ever seen from country music. So he seemed like a perfect fit to perform the national anthem at the Super Bowl. But the 1993 game between the Buffalo Bills and the Dallas Cowboys was set to take place at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California at the time, when the LA riots were still fresh on everyone's minds. Less than a year before the game, the riots had erupted across Los Angeles following the acquittal of 4 police officers for the brutal beating of Rodney King. And in response to the riots, Garth had released a new song that addressed the cultural unrest. We Shall Be Free was the first single from Garth's 1992 album, The Chase, a peace and love anthem that denounced racism, homophobia, homelessness, and a host of other social issues during a difficult time. Speaking on the song, Garth said it was inspired by a visit to LA for the ACM Awards during the riots. That night the riots hit, we watched it all on TV on the bus leaving LA, and as you drove out of LA, you could see the buildings on fire. It's pretty scary for all of us, especially a bunch of guys from Oklahoma. You know this is intense out here. To go along with the song, Garth had released a star-studded music video featuring everyone from Reba McEntire to Mother Teresa. But the video also featured some violent imagery, including flag burnings, riots, the KKK, war, and cross burnings. Well, Garth apparently thought the world needed to see his music video, and according to former NFL executive director Don Weiss's book, The Making of the Super Bowl, the inside story of world's greatest sporting event, Garth wanted them to play it before the Super Bowl. Country music superstar thought the big audience for the game was a perfect platform for his message of hope, so Garth demanded that NBC run the video ahead of their broadcast of the game. The network, on the other hand, thought the video was too controversial and denied Garth's request to play it for the biggest audience of the year. But Garth wasn't going to take no for an answer. In less than an hour before the game kicked off, he walked out of the stadium in protest, refusing to perform the Star-Spangled Banner as scheduled. This presented a major dilemma because Garth had also denied producers' requests to pre-record his national anthem performance. Apparently, he had a different stance on lip-syncing back then than he did during his 2017 CMA Award performance, which led organizers scrambling to find a national anthem singer 45 minutes before the game. John Bon Jovi was spotted in the crowd. The backup plan was to have him on standby in case they weren't able to convince Garth to come back. But eventually, NBC gave in. They delayed the Super Bowl for the first time in history in order to make time to show the Garth Brooks music video. And the Friends in Low Places singer ultimately returned to perform the national anthem alongside Marlee Matlin, who is hearing impaired and performed the anthem in sign language. Imagine the ego that it takes to demand your music video is played before the Super Bowl. Seems that organizers learned their lessons, though. Since Garth's stunt, the NFL and the Super Bowl producers have required anthem performers to submit a pre-recorded version to have on standby just in case. All because Garth wanted to make sure the whole world saw his music video. His ego is just, the more I read about him, the bigger his ego is. It's just, I'm sorry, a good performer, a good singer. He ain't God's gift, by no means. And then all the crap he's got going on nowadays, which I don't even, I try to kind of just stay out of that. I lost a lot of respect for Garth Brooks. And when I found this, lost a whole lot more. All I got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Please subscribe if you have not yet. Please like this video. I'd appreciate it. Have a great day. God bless you. And I'm praying for you.